Today I'm sharing a family favorite recipe with you all. Peanut butter cornflake cookies. They are ooey gooey, melt in your mouth, delicious, and best of all, they're super easy to make. They require no baking whatsoever. Now, I truly believe that absolutely no one makes these like my grandma does, but today we're gonna try to come close. So I'm in my Christmas apron today because we always make these cookies at Christmas time. But to tell you the truth, you can totally make them all year long. As I already referenced, this recipe is my grandma Dorothy's recipe, and we can't see each other right now because of the pandemic. She is well into her 90s, and Grandma, if you happen to be watching this, thank you for this recipe, and this video is dedicated to you. You'll see here and in the description box below that the ingredients for this recipe are very simple. But you all know I like to find ways to make simple things even cheaper. How do I do that? Well, you'll see here that I am using all no-name or store-brand ingredients. That means store-brand peanut butter, store-brand cornflakes, no-name corn syrup, and even store-brand vanilla. Now, let's just keep this a little secret between you and I, because everybody who tastes these cookies of mine always wants to know, what do I do different than the rest of them to make them taste so good? I don't know, maybe the difference is I'm using actually cheaper ingredients than the average person. But hey, if you want to use Kraft or Jiffy peanut butter and brand name Kellogg's cornflakes, you go right ahead. This is just how I do things to save money for our large family. The first part of this recipe is very easy. It's basically 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup. So there's 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of corn syrup. We're going to combine most of our ingredients to melt first. Now this is key to this recipe, you guys. Do not melt these in your microwave, okay? This will change the molecular structure and your cookie will not be soft and gooey. It will end up being crunchy and hard. You want to melt your ingredients in a double broiler on your stove. If you don't have a double broiler pot like I do here, which is basically just a pot in the bottom with water in it, and then there's another pot that nests into the top, you could just use a pot of water and put a stainless steel bowl inside of it or a hardy glass bowl to melt your ingredients instead. It's not at all hard to do, and it makes the difference between these cookies just being average and wow. I'm using my nifty Pampered Chef measuring cup here that I just love to use for things like peanut butter, mayonnaise, butter. So it comes out really easily. And then I'm just gonna reuse the same one with my corn syrup for the 1 cup. Less dishes is how I roll. We also have 1 cup of packed brown sugar. And then we cannot forget our butter and vanilla. I have seen quite a number of recipes for these cookies online and in recipe books that don't have the butter in it. And the butter is really what makes these. You want butter in these cookies. So we have ½ cup of butter as well as 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Bring your pot to a boil on the stove and then stir until all of these ingredients are melted and your sugar is melted in good and not grainy. Next, we're going to add all of this to our cornflakes. A simple trick here is to not use too many cornflakes. So I have here about 4 cups. You could do 5 cups if you want a little bit more cornflakes into this mix, but if you add too many cornflakes, then once again, you're gonna get kind of a crunchy, dry cookie. So if you really want them to melt in your mouth, think less cornflakes, more sauce. Once I've stirred this all together, I'm going to spoon them out onto wax paper to set. There's no rhyme or reason here as to shape, just put them out there. They're not going to look perfectly uniform, and that is totally fine. While I'm setting these out, do you guys have like a grandma's favorite cookie recipe? Do you have a favorite type of cookie that you maybe made with your grandma growing up or she made for you as mine did? If you do, pop it in the comments below. What is your favorite type of grandma cookie? Now you're gonna wanna let these sit for about an hour to cool down until they are ready to eat. You can store them in a sealed container at room temperature or put them in your freezer and pop them out at a later date. They'll be just as good that way. All right, fellow peanut butter lovers, what did you think of that recipe? Does it look good to you? If so, pop that like button below. It really helps the video out. And a word about subscribing. This channel is so close to meeting a big milestone. So if you've been following along with my videos and you haven't yet subscribed, don't be afraid to click the red button and join the community. And I actually have another favorite cookie recipe that I make this time of year. It's a ginger spice cookie. You'll find that in the description box below and right to the side of me here. So until I see you in the next video, I hope that you can enjoy the simple things in life and happy holidays. For the least, this is Jen.